Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to Arsenal versus Manchester City Part 2. This is, of course, the Premier League from the Emirates. It is another big game. Will it be as exciting as the one we saw this morning? Probably not, but who knows? It's all coming up the other side of this. So it is, of course, Arsenal versus Manchester City from the Premier League. They haven't beaten us in the last season? 2 years, I suppose, isn't it? Since the last time when they won that game 4-1 at the Etihad. Although we have only beat them once at home in the last, 12 attempts or something like that, isn't it? That was, of course, last season's game, though, wasn't it, if you remember? Martinelli with that goal late on. So what is the team news for today? Well, this is it. This is our Arsenal lineup. There are not too many surprises. In goal, it is David Raya. We always knew he was going to be fit. The back four is Jurgen Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. In midfield, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, and captain Martin Odegaard. And the front three, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, and Kai Havertz. So, yeah, it's a pretty strong Arsenal team, as you would expect. On the bench then for Arsenal is goalkeeper Alberto Neto. Overloaded with left backs, Jacob Kiwior, Ricardo Calafiori, Alexander Zinchenko, and Kieran Tierney. Also, Jorginho, Mikel Mourinho, Raheem Sterling, and Ethan Nwaneri. So that's the Arsenal team. And what does Man City team look like? Well, it's like this. In goal is Stefan Ortega. So their first choice goalkeeper is out injured. Their back four is Mateus Nunes, John Stones, Manuel Akanji, and Joski Guardiola. In midfield it is Mateo Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, their captain, and Phil Foden. And in their front three, it's Savinho, Omar Marouche, and, of course, Erling Haaland. So they are your team line. So I've got to be honest with you. If you take Erling Haaland out of that team, maybe Phil Foden to a certain degree, this is probably the weakest Man City team I think we've faced for a very long time. Yes, a lot of that's down to injuries, but even their bench ain't that strong. Okay, Kevin De Bruyne is on there, Jack Grealish, Ilkay Gundogan. But even so, they're lacking as much lacking in depth as what we are. Probably even more so at the minute with the injuries that they've got. I don't remember seeing too many Man City teams this week that we've had to face, certainly here at the Emirates over the last 15 years maybe. This team is there for the taking today. There's no excuses, is there? When you look at the lineups, their defence looks weak. The goalkeeper situation, obviously, okay, Erling Haaland's the difference. If he gets the service, you know he's going to be a threat. But I don't know. I look at a Man City team, not impressed with that at all. Terry's with us. He said, if we don't win today, Arteta needs to go. I'm fed up with this business taking us for mugs. And let's hope all the Arteta sexuals go with him. Well, yeah, that's the dream, isn't it? You bit the light this time. It was nice and early. That's what we like to see. Good stuff. Nathan's with us. How you doing, my friend? He says, hey, Rich, hope you're doing well. And hey to everyone in the chat too. It sounds a bit more conversational and natural indeed. Terry says, our Angie's a good girl. She is usually, yeah. Nathan says, hey, Rich, hope you're doing well. And hey to everyone. Oh, I see. You put that one in. I got it. Right, okay. Good afternoon again to Terry. This game will be. You having your dinner, are you? Good stuff. Good stuff. Nathan's gone 2-1 to Man City. I mean, usually I would agree with you, but I think this is a weak Man City team. Terry says, do you think Richard will do the game? Well, I sort of wasn't going to, but I decided to anyway. I miss you guys. That's what it is. I miss you guys. That's the only reason. But there you go. Gunner for Life says, fingers crossed the boys can copy the girls a double over City today. Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it? So I'm pretty confident, really, because I don't rate this Man City team at all. Terry says, and I'm talking about the men's team being trash. Well, yeah, exactly. Anyway, we are getting ready for the kickoff here at the Emirates. Of course, remember that game at the Etihad, controversial as it was back in October, wasn't it, where the 2-2 draw. When Man City, of course, scored a very, very late goal, didn't they, after the red card to Trossard. What we don't want to be doing today is talking about referees, do we? Because that's just nonsense. let's talk about. Let's hopefully we can talk about the football. And let's hope we can talk about all the good things about the game. You know, we saw the women's game earlier, and that was just a great advert for what we. Yes, there was a couple of refereeing decisions that left a bit to be desired, but overall it was a quality game, wasn't it? And that's what's important. Good to see Thierry Henry there in the studio, looking. He's looking quite fit, and he could probably still do a job out there today. We need a striker, don't we? I mean, he's only 42, and Thierry Henry. I'm sure he could still do a job. Absolutely convinced of it. He'd be a better centre forward than Kai Havertz, wouldn't he? Even now, you know, the teams are in the tunnel, about to come out on to the pitch at the Emirates. Arsenal, of course, in red and white, and Man City. I don't know. I mean, they've got tracksuits on, so it's difficult to tell what colour tops they're wearing. They might well. What's their away kit this year? I can't remember. And I think they're wearing their light blue, aren't they? Because the mascot's got a light blue top on. So let's assume they're wearing light blue, shall we? Russ is with us. Russ, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. So let's see what's your score prediction, Russ? Give us a score prediction. I say, to be honest with you, this looks like a poor. Well, I say poor. For Man City's standards, it's a poor Man City team. It's still a good side, isn't it? Let's be honest. But it's nowhere near the quality of the Man City teams from the past. And I say, if we don't win this game today, then you have to think that the title is not. I mean, I don't think we're good enough to win the title anyway, but we certainly won't if we don't beat this Man City team today. But we don't know too much about their new striker, do we? Mamouche, who's playing today. Fancy signing a striker in January. It's impossible, isn't it? How have Man City managed to do it? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, the teams are lining up here ready for the kickoff here at the Emirates. It is still a big game, isn't it? It's not going to have maybe there are repercussions in the title race as Arsenal Man City games have done in previous seasons, although last season we took 4 points off them and it still wasn't enough. This for us, and I mean for Man City as well, it's all about getting in the top 4, isn't it? You know, they've had a really, really poor run, but they seem to have recovered from that, don't they, in recent weeks. They seem to have got their form back and they seem to be firing a lot more strongly. I know they had that disappointment in the Champions League, although they did, of course, qualify in the week, for the playoffs anyway, which at least was the minimum that they needed to do. But they have been finding their form again in the Premier League. They're only 6 points behind us coming into this game. So if they were to win this, that gap's just 3 points, isn't it? And that is definitely doable with the games that are left, knowing how Man City generally finish the season. So there we go. Greg says, afternoon all, 29, our hope, no hope. Well, yeah, exactly. You are not wrong there. But let's see what happens. He'll probably score a winning goal now, won't he, Kai Havertz? But let's be honest. I mean, when you look at our team there, okay, Bukayo Saka obviously is a big miss and he's out. Other than that, though, you know, he's the only one that you'd look at in this team and think that he would be playing. So really, we've only got maybe one player out. I mean, the left back situation is a bit up and down, really. Who's our best left back? It's difficult to say. It's certainly not Zinchenko. It's certainly not Calafiore. So Lewis Skelly's got to have a shout in that as well. So I don't know, but I mean, Man City seems to have a lot more players out. They're missing a lot more key players. Their defence looks weak, but we've still got to go out there and beat them, haven't we? At the end of the day, that's what we've got to do. Nathan says, "What do you think of the bid for Watkins?" Well, I mean, it strikes a little bit of desperation, doesn't it? A 29, nearly 30-year-old player that we're looking at spending all that money on. Is he really the long-term striker that we need? No, clearly not. If we can't get the long-term striker that we need, then for me, let's get a loan in till the end of the season to get us through the rest of this season, because we need somebody in. Do we really want to spend 60, 70 million on Ollie Watkins? No. He's a decent player. If we could get him on loan, I would be, yes, absolutely, let's do it. But I wouldn't pay 60 million for him, or 65 million for him, or 70 million for him, whatever the price is going to be. No, because he's nearly 30 years old. And he looks to be a short-term solution to a long-term problem. And that's not what we need. If we can't get the striker that we want now, that we need, let's wait till the summer and get a loan in now. I'm sure we could get a decent striker on loan that can do us a job between now and the end of the season. I would be looking at Brentford's Mbeumo. I think he's a fantastic player. Mikel Arteta and Pep there, of course, best friends, embracing on the touchline. We are just about to get off and underway. It's going to be Man City to kick off. They'll be attacking a goal to our left in his first half. No, right. No, they're attacking a goal to our left in his first half, yeah, which is, of course, the North Bank. And the ball goes straight back to Ortega. And he goes long through the centre, but that ball should be tidied up there by Gabriel. And you have to say Arsenal definitely stronger defensively than this Man City team. Egg says, just watched Aston Villa Chelsea. Bad referee there as well. Aston Villa denied at least 2 corners. What was the score there? It was 0-0 last time I saw. Greg says, still got time to bring in Rashford. Well, yeah, there is still time to bring in. I think we do need a loan, though, don't we? Let's be honest. I think we do need somebody. We need somebody. I wouldn't pay 65 million for Watkins. Absolutely not. 30 million, yeah, I would do it. 35 million, maybe, yes. Well, Arsenal have a chance here over on that far side. Martinelli with the shot, but it's straight at Ortega. Actually, it was Kai Havertz, sorry, with the shot over on that far side. And now Man City coming forward up this near side with Guardiola. Gets a lot of goals from left back, doesn't he? Plays the ball through. Haaland's going to be sniffing after this with Gabriel. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of feistiness going on between them two. Ag says Chelsea win 1-0. Oh, that's no good, is it? Greg says Chelsea won by an own goal. Oh, dear. Typical, isn't it? But never mind. Never mind. Anyway, Man City inside the centre circle. Arsenal trying to press early. Guardiola manages to survive that and gets the ball back to John Stones. It was his late equaliser, wasn't it, at the Etihad in the reverse fixture that denied us our first win there for 10 years. You know, people saying that, you know, we've improved our record against the top teams, but we haven't won at Anfield for God knows how long, 12, 13 years. We haven't won at Man City. So there's a chance for Arsenal, early goal. Put to Martin Odegaard, and he scored. And Arsenal inside 2 minutes have taken the lead. A disaster at the back for Manchester City. And just like the women's game earlier on, Arsenal capitalising on some stupid, crazy defending. Why the teams keep doing that, I do not know, but we've taken full advantage. And Martin Odegaard's not been scoring enough goals this season, but he's got one now. And is it going to be the springboard to take us a victory here today? Man City got in an absolute mess. And it was Kai Havertz, I think, with the pullback, and Martin Odegaard with the finish. It's a Kanji there, Trossard, and it was Kai Havertz there, squared it across to Martin Odegaard, couldn't miss. And, wow, what a start it's been for Arsenal. Incredible. Nathan says, good start. It was a good start. Nick Nack says 1-0 already. It is 1-0 already. Indeed, it is at 1-0 already. Less than 2 minutes played. An absolute disaster for Man City. I look at their defence and you think to yourself, Christ, that is the worst Man City defence since God knows when. And they just showed why there. But we couldn't hang on to a lead at the Etihad, could we, when we got ourselves in front? We've got a lot longer now. Man City, Mark C, sorry, says, played it out. Yeah, played it out from the back. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why teams keep on doing that. It's very rare that you get away with it often, is it? I mean, you've got to be exceptional. And Man City have probably been the best at it when they've got their full strength team. But when they've got players missing, you know, Akanji isn't the best defender with a ball at his feet, is he? So you can't really rely on him to do that, to get that. And he completely messed it up, didn't he? Greg says, hope it doesn't go like the women. Well, I mean, if we win the game, it'll be all right, won't it? Nick Nat says, the thing is, when City were bossing games, the defence really got tested. Yeah, but even when they did, their defence is much better than what they've got today here. Mark C says, we'll play 10 men behind the ball now. Yeah, we probably will, actually. I hope we don't. But it wouldn't surprise me. We'll definitely go into scared mode in the second half if it's still only 1-0, won't we? Absolutely, we will. But anyway, let's see how the game develops. That's an early goal again, though. Wow, that must be the earliest we've ever scored against Man City for a long time, isn't it? I can't remember last time we scored this early against City. So we've had such a poor record against them in recent years, haven't we? I think we lost, 12 games in a row against them or something ridiculous. Of course, we did beat them here last season. That took a late goal, didn't it? A goal in the last couple of minutes. from Gabriel Martinelli. This time it's a goal in the opening couple of minutes from Martin Ødegaard of Man City, were the architects of their own downfall there, though, wasn't they? Nick Nack says, but now they're being shown up for what they are. Well, I don't know. I just think that, you know, they have lost a few players, and it's a matter of them. They're having to rebuild, really, aren't they? In some ways, you know, winning a league 4 seasons in a row is really, really difficult to do. It's impossible. No one's done it before. It could be 2-0. Martinelli's in. He tips it over the keeper. Oh, it is 2-0. Incredible start. Martinelli has scored. Has it been given? Oh, offside flag. Well, I thought we was going to get a repeat of the women for a minute there. Martin Ødegaard, it was. Oh, he is offside. He is miles offside, Martinelli. It was a nice finish, actually, but he was offside. Almost 2-0. I was going to say, I thought we were doing a women for a minute there. I'll go 2-0 up inside 10 minutes. The Man City defence, I said before the game, the defence looks absolute shite, and they've been absolute shite so far. But we know if they get their act together with the ball, obviously they can come back into this game. They're not going to panic, are they? That's the one thing about Manchester City is they certainly don't panic going behind, do they? They're the masters at coming back. But we haven't lost in the Premier League, of course, all season. But we haven't lost in the Premier League for nearly a year now, since Aston Villa came here and won 2-0 last season. We haven't lost at home since then in the league. We did, of course, lose against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, of course, second leg coming up on Wednesday. Are we going to be able to turn that 2-0 defeat around? I'm not sure. Greg says Martinelli's been training with Steiner. Well, we'll see. If he gets a winning goal in this game, then he would have been. But he did make his run too early there anyway. Man City just trying to get some control of the ball. Kovacic there pings it over to that far side to Akanji. It was his mistake that led to the goal. And Foden over on that far side. And Man City are up against it here already, aren't they? 7 minutes played. Arsenal 1, Man City 0. Certainly wasn't expecting a start like this, were we? Although Arsenal do tend to start games generally quite quickly. We just struggle to maintain that, don't we, throughout the 90 minutes? But it's pretty much impossible to do that anyway, isn't it? Let's be honest. Anyway, Akanji now bringing the ball forward, plays it over on that far side. And Phil Foden now in possession. I do think Phil Foden is a fantastic footballer. You know, I hate the comparisons with Bukayo Saka. If you look at it statistically, Phil Foden is much better. But they're different types of players. We shouldn't be comparing them. We're just glad that we've got 2 young English players who are so good. But they're very different players, aren't they? Phil Foden obviously has got a lot more goals in his career. I mean, we don't want to talk about trophies, do we? Christ. We can't talk about trophies anyway. We're Arsenal fans. We don't want to win trophies, do we? Anyway, Man City are just having a good spell of possession here. They're not going anywhere. But they've got the ball now on that far side. It is offside, actually. It is offside. And they're just showing the goal again. It was awful play there. And in the end, Martin Ødegaard couldn't miss, could he? Gabriel, the last thing you want to do, mate, is wind up Erling Haaland because he's going to make you look stupid, mate. So don't even bother going down that road. Bit silly, really. Anyway, let's see what happens in this game. Man City are just starting to get a little bit of control, aren't they, in terms of possession of the ball. But they haven't created anything yet. But I can see there being some. I can see there being some issues going on between Gabriel and Erling Haaland. And so I think winding up Erling Haaland is not a good idea. It is not a good idea. Just concentrate on your game, Gabriel. That's all you've got to do. And speak afterwards when the game's finished, when we've won. That's all you need to do. Don't start, starting already. You're just going to make yourself look silly, aren't you? Anyway, Kai Havertz is offside. He's going to be a free kick to Man City, which they've taken quickly. And now it's with Bernardo Silva, the captain for Manchester City. And looked like a foul there in midfield, but Man City have kept the ball. In fact, it was almost going to be an advantage, but the referee has blown for the free kick. The referee, by the way, is Peter Banks. Not that it matters who the referees are, really, does it? Let's be honest. They're all pretty much of a muchness, and they're all pretty crap, let's be honest. Anyway, it's been a good start from Arsenal in this game, although we've not really had too much of the ball in the last 10 minutes, have we? The Man City have just given it away to Timber, and he fires it back to David Raya. Erling Haaland goes to close him down, but it's a long ball over the top, but Guardiola's there, played it back to goalkeeper Ortega, Stefan Ortega. And Man City are struggling at the minute to get the ball out. It's going to be a throw over on the far side. Nunes playing at right back. This would have been a game where Pep would have liked Kyle Walker, I would imagine, wouldn't he, to have been playing in this game. But of course, he's off. He's gone in this transfer window, isn't he, Kyle Walker? So let's see what happens. Anyway, Martin Odegaard is coming forward now. The goal scorer for Arsenal finds Timber on this near side, but Man City win the ball back. And it's now back with John Stones. Now Kovacic. Of course, it was Rodri, wasn't it? Got injured in that game at the Etihad. It's caused Man City a lot of their problems that they've had this season. They are still, of course, in the hunt for that top four. And I say they did start today only 6 points behind us. And of course, we're in second place. So they're not far away, are they, Man City? And, you know, they're the type of team where despite their issues, defensively in particular, their injuries and stuff, you can still see them going on a run in the last half of the season. And, you know, making a charge. Probably not for the title. I think the title is probably gone for City, but that top four is obviously, it's so important, isn't it? Greg says Walker left trying to get away with child maintenance. Yeah, probably, yeah. Grat says there, I saw that the former AFC player Van Persie had gone mad about a game that he lost. From what I understand, the opposite side have been playing with 12 players. Oh, right, I haven't heard about that, actually. Anyway, the boys still in play on this near side. Kai Havertz done well, found Martin Odegaard. Oh, but he's given the ball away. In fact, he hasn't done because the referee's given a free kick for a foul on Kai Havertz just before that. He's been trying to play an advantage here, the referee, on a couple of occasions, actually. I mean, that probably was a foul there. But it was Savinho there. But it probably was a foul, but the advantage seemed to have gone. But anyway, the referee's called it back. And he's done that a couple of times. And Duran Timber's just fired the ball at Marmoush, and the referee not happy about that. And the referee now is moving Marmoush away. The Egyptian new signing, of course, for Manchester City. They've managed to get a striker in the January window, haven't they? I don't know how good he is because he's not really had the ball much yet. And it must be tough becoming a striker at Man City, knowing that you're playing second fiddle to Erling Haaland. As good as Erling Haaland is, it must be frustrating, really, mustn't it? But anyway, Man City have had more possession, but haven't had any shots yet. Which this is the game of possession, isn't it? Two teams that just love to have the football, and so far, Man City have had more of it, but Arsenal have made more of the possession that they've had, and that's maybe a lesson there, isn't it, for the way Arteta wants to play. Martin Odegaard now spreads that ball out wide. Trossard over on that far side, playing on the left. He's going to have a run here at Nunes, who's playing at right back, not his natural position. And he's done well, Leandro Trossard. He's still got the ball, and then he's fouled as the referee says no, but Arsenal keep the ball anyway. Gabriel chips it into the box, almost finding Kai Havertz. It's headed away by John Stones, and that's going to be a goal kick. and Trossard's not very happy. He looked like he was fouled, but I don't know if he was. Let's have a look at the replay. He did well, Trossard. He seemed to be running around in circles, going nowhere. And then did he slip over? We did keep the ball. Well, I think his legs are running to across the legs of Nunez there. I don't know. Anyway, the referee said no, and it is a goal kick to Manchester City. We've played 15 minutes here at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. An early goal from Martin Ødegaard following some really, really sloppy play at the back from Manuel Akanji. And that's a poor ball in midfield as well for Man City. They just can't get going yet in this game, can they, Man City? And Arsenal picked up possession again. Miles Lewis-Skelly finds Trossard, gets it back. And Arsenal just looking to slow it down again, which is kind of what we tend to do, don't we? Anyway, David Raya is now back in possession with the ball at his feet, just outside the Arsenal penalty area. Plays it short to Thomas Partey. And Arsenal looking to keep the ball here. We've given it away again, and Man City can try and break forward. Phil Foden's in good goal scoring form at the minute, but he runs into a couple of Arsenal players. And now Thomas Partey's got the ball again, spreads it on this near side. Kai Havertz coming forward. He's got Timber outside him. Timber's now on the ball. Plays it back to Thomas Partey. And now it's square to Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's got Declan Rice outside him. And Arsenal just happy to keep the ball in the Man City half at the moment. And that's into the penalty area, looking for the run of Martinelli, but the goalkeeper there, Ortega, was out quickly. And the danger was averted. But it is Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. And it's been a good start from Arsenal in this game. Coming forward again, Martinelli heads the ball forward, but it's going to be cleared away. Man City's chance now to come forward for the first time, and Mamouche with a shot goes high over the crossbar into the north bank. And that was their first effort at goal, and it wasn't a particularly good one from the Egyptian, who looks like a younger version of Mo Salah, doesn't he? He'll have a lot to do to prove himself to be that good. Mark C says a drop of intensity from both sides. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But I think it was inevitable, really. I mean, Man City just want to try and get a grip with the game, really, because they've struggled to really get going. And Arsenal in a little bit of a dilemma in some sense, because, you know, we've got the lead. We don't need to take too many risks. And if you take risks against a team like Man City, you usually end up playing, don't you? It ends up costing you. So I think Arsenal in a little bit of stuck in no man's land a little bit at the moment, aren't we, as to how to play this game out. And we're allowing Man City lots of possession, although they're not really using it to much benefit in terms of attacking at the moment, are they? Anyway, they are coming forward now. That's a ball over the top up this near side. It's a poor ball, isn't it? It's gone straight out of play. And there was no chance for Savinho there. And Pep isn't looking very happy, is he? There's definitely something going on at Man City this season. I don't have any doubt about that. Nick Nack says sitting back plays into City's hands. Well, no, it does. Obviously, it can do. But you have to say the defensive part of our game is our strength. And, you know, I don't like a sitting back. It's nervy, isn't it? And, you know, to me, you play your football in the other team's half of the pitch and they can't score, can they? But then this is Man City we're talking about, and they have got quality and they're coming forward now. Phil Foden closed down by 2 Arsenal players. He goes down. The referee says, play on. Looked like that could have been a free kick as well. Anyway, Martinelli now up this near side. If he can keep this ball in, he just about manages to, but he's not going to be able to get there. Guardiola tidies up, finds Savino, and now Kovacic can bring the ball clear for Man City. Bernardo Silva's playing much deeper, isn't he, nowadays, Bernardo Silva? Phil says sitting back is inviting trouble. It is, yeah. It absolutely is inviting trouble. You know, especially as Man City's weakness is defensively, isn't it? Anyway, there's a ball pinged out to this near side here to Savino, plays it infield to Guardiola. He's a decent player, that Guardiola, isn't he? He's on the ball again now. Left-footed defender. We've got a whole bunch of them on the bench. And Mikel was going to play him. He didn't have any right-footed defenders, didn't he? Well, you haven't bought any, mate. That might be why. Anyway, Kanji now be desperate to make up for that mistake he made, won't he, for that goal? And Man City now are coming forward over on that far side. The ball's with Phil Foden. Greg said we shouldn't be sitting back this early. Well, no, we shouldn't be, no, but we are. And I think part of that is, you know, Man City are trying to force the play now, aren't they? You know, we played nearly 21 minutes. And, you know, Man City know they're going to have to force the game. Well, that's a nice ball from John Stones, actually, over on that far side to Nunez, trying to get past Trossard. Couldn't get the cross in. Played it back to Akanji. He thought about the cross from a slightly deeper position. He still got the ball. Akanji plays it back out again to Nunez. And Man City are now camped in front of our penalty area. Foden whips a ball in, headed out well there by William Saliba. But Man City pick up the second ball. It's lofted back into the penalty area again. And Man City now looking to try and get in behind Arsenal. Keep our defensive shape pretty well, actually. Greg says, attack is the best form of defence. Well, no, it is. Attack is the best form of defence, but it's difficult when you don't have the ball. And the one thing Man City are good at, no matter how badly they're playing, they are still good at keeping the ball, aren't they? It's what they do best. And, you know, we need to understand that they are going to have long spells of possession in this game. You know, they're coming forward again with Nunez, chips across in towards the far post, and Timbers had to stretch, but heads it behind for a Man City corner. And this is looking a little bit more dangerous from Man City, isn't it? They're finally getting the ball into our penalty area. It was decent defending. Bernardo Silva was coming in, but Timber was always going to get there first. But it is a corner, which Mamouche is going to take, the new signing. John Stones is making his way into the Arsenal penalty area. Did, of course, score, didn't he? Haaland's in there as well. The corner comes in. It's a good save. It hits the woodwork. Oh, well, Arsenal got away with one there. Not sure it was who hit the woodwork there. It was a header came in from the corner. And did Raya save it, maybe? It was Mamouche's corner. It's a good delivery. The header was from Guardiola. Oh, that's a good save, actually, from David Raya. Pushed it up onto the crossbar so Haaland couldn't tap it in. Wow, incredible. Nick Neck says, well, that was an incredible save. Looked a certain goal. It was. Man City are now starting to get on top. But that effort there has gone into the side netting from Savino. Nathan says, what a save it was. Mark C says, oh, what a save it was, actually. It did hit the crossbar, but I thought the header hit the crossbar, but it wasn't. It was a great save from David Raya. And we got a little bit fortunate that it came back off the crossbar, because it could easily have looped in or looped straight to Erling Haaland, who would have had a tap in. But it came off the crossbar and away. And Man City a little bit unfortunate there not to be level, maybe. But anyway, they're coming forward again. They're having a really good spell now, Manchester City. And Thomas Partey has just conceded a free kick, which Man City have taken quickly. They want to get on with this game. They're coming forward now with Savino on his near side. Puts a cross into the far post. Haaland trying to get round Lewis Skelly. And Lewis Skelly manages to hold him off and win the free kick. Erling Haaland appreciates the cross. And he'll love them sort of balls in. Great defending, though, from Miles Lewis Skelly. Not intimidated by the big Norwegian there, was he? Not intimidated at all. Really good defending that was from the youngster. 18 years old, remember, Miles Lewis Skelly. His first season in the Premier League. Absolutely fantastic. And he defended that really well. Anyway, David Raya's now got the ball just inside the Arsenal penalty area. And nobody's closing him down, so he's going to take his time. Of course he is. And now he kicks it long. Again, Man City have picked the ball up and they've had a lot of possession, and they've got another free kick now. And Juran Timber committed the foul and is going to get a yellow card. It was good play actually by Savino. I don't think Juran Timber can have too many complaints about that yellow card. He did dive in a little bit there. And that is a yellow card for Juran Timber. And Arsenal have got to defend this free kick. It is only just on halfway. And it's played back in. And back out to Akanji over on that far side. Man City starting to get on top here. And Akanji's forced all the way back to goalkeeper Ortega. Oh, and Arsenal again have made a mistake. Man City's made a mistake. Kai Havertz is in. Oh, he's put it wide. Wow. Wow. Man City again playing it out from the back and getting it all wrong. Ortega it was. There's a terrible ball. And quite how Kai Havertz has missed that, I do not know. That is a bigger miss, as you will see. And that is a chance to make it 2-0, and he's rolled it past the post. That is awful. That is absolutely awful. Nick Nack says, why did he take a touch to slam it into the goal? Yeah, exactly. Because he's not a natural goal scorer, is he? That's why. He's not a natural goal scorer. Nathan says, how on earth did he miss that? Well, how on earth did he miss it? Because he's Kai Havertz and he's not a striker. Anyway, Martinelli puts a cross in towards the far post, headed out by Manchester City, and Arsenal going to get their first corner of the game. We've played 27 minutes. And Kai Havertz has missed another big chance. And if we don't win this game, these are the moments, aren't they, that you look back on. And these are the moments that cost you league titles, that cost you a chance to win stuff. You know, missing big chances in big moments in games. And that was a big moment there. 2-0 at this point in the game. You feel that this game is probably done and dusted. We still might get a second goal now from this corner. But, you know, I say if we end up not winning this game or losing, it will come back, won't it, to that miss from Kai Havertz, and the conversation about a striker is going to rage on a bit longer, isn't it? Of course, the deadline is tomorrow. So if nobody comes in tomorrow, then that's it. We're obviously not going to get anybody, are we? Because it'll be too late. Anyway, Declan Rice, William Sleeve on his near side, though. It's gone out for a throw to Manchester City. Martin Odegaard's gone down, holding the back of his neck. It was him and Bernardo Silva. Oh, he's just got completely barged out of the way. He's so lightweight, though, isn't he, Martin Odegaard? Quite what he's holding is, he was pushed in the shoulder, and he's holding his neck and his head. I mean, that's just terrible. Your head wasn't touched, mate. Phil says, hope we don't live to regret that mess. Well, exactly, miss. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these are the things that happen, aren't they? You know, those are the moments in these big games. There is such a small margin, and we've seen it so many times. I mean, I don't understand what he's doing there. You're right. Why did he need to take the extra touch? As soon as the ball comes there, just fire it in. Just fire it in. He's got an open goal. He's got an open goal. Just incredible. That's an incredible miss, actually. One of many. I mean, you know, we like to see videos, don't we, of great goals that our players have scored. But Kai Havertz will have a seriously long video of misses, like bad misses, won't he? Just for this season, just for the last 4 or 5 games, there's been so many. And that one was probably the worst of the lot, if we're totally honest. He's got an open goal to fire at. You know, unbelievable, really, unbelievable. But anyway, there's still a long way to go in this game. We've only played 29 minutes. Trossard there has gone past Nunes over on that far side, who's been struggling, really, hasn't he, to a different position for him to play. Obviously, Martin Odegaard now. The ball's out to that far side again. Miles Lewis-Skelly plays it back to Gabriel. El Loco says there, Havertz misses what happens when you've not got a natural finisher. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But we've known this for a long time, haven't we? We've mentioned it for, I can't remember how far back we're going. You know, we haven't replaced Aubameyang, let's be honest. And it's still haunting us now, isn't it? It's still coming back to haunt us now. All this time. And, you know, I don't know why we haven't invested in the forward areas of this team enough. In fact, you know, when you look at the Mikel Arteta in 5 years hasn't actually bought what I consider a proper striker. Gabriel Jesus is the nearest he's bought to an actual striker, and he's not a natural goal scorer either, is he? Obviously, Havertz is not a goal scorer, a natural goal scorer at all. You know, we've relied on Saka, we've relied on Martinelli, we've relied on goals from midfield. Martin Odegaard, whose goals have dried up this season, and he's not wanted to buy a striker. I personally think it's an ego issue because strikers have got big egos, and you know, Greg says Havertz misses what happens when you're crap. Well, yeah. Terry says 29 will be one of those players that you want to forget ever played for Arsenal. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. El Loco says, yeah, he'll never be a natural finisher. It's not his game, and Arteta will not buy a striker in this window either. And I don't think he will, no. Mark C says, having seen Mateta play today, we should be on the phone to play. Yeah, I've been saying that. I said this before. I think he's a good player, Mateta. You know, he's even if he's not going to be a regular starter, he's a good option, isn't he? Because he's strong, he's powerful, he's quick, he can finish, he can hold the ball up. He's a good all-round striker, isn't he? But yeah, he would be a good bet. I don't know how much he would cost, but he scored goals. Isn't he? Last season he scored a lot of goals. He's scoring goals this season. He's a good all-round centre forward, isn't he? But I don't know if he fits what Mikel Arteta wants his centre forward to do. Anyway, Man City cross comes in, it's deflected behind off. Is that Gabriel who's winded? And Phil Foden was trying to lift him up, and he wasn't interested. Gabriel. He did deflect that behind. It's going to be another corner to Man City. And they did nearly score from their last one, didn't they? It was Foden's cross that winded the big Brazilian. And Arsenal got some defending to do here from this corner. It's the same position from the previous corner that almost brought the equaliser. Phil says there, Arteta is scared of a player he can't control with an ego. Exactly, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Well, there was a header came in there, but it was a comfortable save in the end for David Raya. And now Arsenal can look to break forward with Kai Havertz. Plays it in to Trossard. And Trossard's ball across is cut out. I've said this for a while. There can't be any other explanation as to why in 5 years he hasn't bought himself a striker. He got rid of the only decent strikers that Arsenal have had for a long time in Aubameyang, who was Golden Boot winner, was scoring 30 goals a season. But Mikel Arteta didn't want him to score 30 goals a season because he basically was playing him out of position and stopping him from scoring. So, of course, he wasn't going to be happy. And Man City now are coming forward. They're dominating this game in terms of possession, Man City now. But they still haven't managed to really look like scoring other than that one chance on the corner. The header from Guardiola. John Stones now on the outside, chips a ball to that far side. It's a good ball, actually. And it's Nunez coming forward, whips across in. A dangerous ball, actually, but Gabriel manages to head it clear, but Arsenal can't get the ball out at this moment. Declan Rice gets a foot in. And now it's a free kick to Arsenal. Kovacic there with a foul on Kai Havertz, and Arsenal got a free kick. We've played 33.5 minutes. But there's no other reason. You know, you can't see, for example, you can't imagine Mikel Arteta signing a player like Erling Haaland with that ego. But all great goal scorers, it comes with a territory, doesn't it? They have egos. That's what they do. But I said it on the show the other night. You know, Arsenal as a club we've become too nice and too focused on things that are not about winning. That winning mentality. That's the one thing that we don't have enough of. We're not focused on that. We're focused on all these other things, you know. We're focused on, you know, being everybody getting on well, having this big family atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. That's what we're focused on as a club, rather than actually focusing on winning things. You know, we've got the dog and all that sort of stuff, and you know, we get too sentimental about certain players. I think the manager does as well. Anyway, Man City are coming forward now over on that far side with Matheus Nunes again, but he's just lost out to Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly brings the ball forward. This is an enterprising run from the 18-year-old. Plays the ball out to that far side to Kai Havertz. That was great play there by Miles Lewis Skelly. Trossard now. That's played out to that far side again. Miles Lewis Skelly thought about a cross, changed his mind, played it back to Declan Rice. And Arsenal just slowing it down again, as we tend to do. Now played out to that far side. This is nice possession from Arsenal, which is fair enough at this point in the game. You know, Man City have pinned us back a bit, haven't they? And, you know, apart from obviously the goal that was disallowed and that big chance from Havertz, we've not really threatened too much, have we? Martin Odegaard's ball isn't a great one. Easily tidied up. And the ball goes back to Ortega. It was Guardiola there with the ball back to the goalkeeper. He gets the ball again. It was his header that almost produced the equaliser, wasn't it, for Manchester City? And Kovacic now brings it clear. It comes back out here to this near side to Guardiola. The Croatian plays the ball up the line to Mamouche. The new signing Egyptian international tries to play the ball forward towards the run of Phil Foden into the box, but Thomas Partey was there to cut it out. And Timber plays it back to William Saliba, pops it into Thomas Partey. And then he plays it out to that far side to Gabriel. Declan Rice. Arsenal quite happy to keep the ball now. So Man City have had a good 15-minute spell, haven't they? But Arsenal in possession now, and Kai Havertz picks it up. El Loco says, Arteta looking for a perfect striker. There's no such thing. You polish raw talent, which Arteta cannot. Meanwhile, loads of average strikers in the Premier League keep scoring. Mateta, Chris Wood, Atara. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you. And it's no good saying, you know, Arteta makes himself look stupid when he says we're only going to bring players in who will improve what we've got, when he brought in Raheem Sterling, Jacob Kiwior. I mean, how have these guys improved what we had? They haven't. But he comes out with stuff like that, and then you have to think to yourself, yeah, you're right. You know, and I wouldn't necessarily call Mateta or Chris Wood average. I don't think you score as many goals in the Premier League as they have if you're an average striker. I think they're very, very good players. But they're the sort of player where if Arsenal had signed them, I mean, Chris Wood's days are probably gone in terms of his age. He's having a great season, obviously, as are Nottingham Forest. But, you know, they're the sort of names, aren't they? Where they're not the names that Arsenal fans think are good enough for Arsenal. I don't understand why. We've got nobody. We've got nobody up front. So him to say, well, we're only going to get someone who improves what we've got. Well, pretty much anybody. Any player that plays in the Premier League as a striker is going to improve what we've got because we don't have one. So anybody will be an improvement, won't they? And then names that you've mentioned there would be an improvement. Absolutely. Ollie Watkins would be an improvement on what we've got. I say I don't think for that money that's the right solution. But yeah, absolutely. Anyway, it's a switch ball here to this near side. And it's well kept in actually by Guardiola. He's a good player. I really like him actually. And Man City keeping possession. Terry says there is a perfect striker. Arteta found him for Manchester City. His name is Haaland. Well, yeah, exactly. He is the perfect striker. And it's funny because he's barely had a touch of the ball in this game so far. But it doesn't matter because he only needs one chance, doesn't he? And he'll score a goal. And that is the difference between, you know, a great striker and Kai Havertz. You know, you can't tell me Haaland doesn't bury that chance. Absolutely, he does. Anyway, Kai Havertz now is going to have to do this on his own. He's got very little support. The charge comes up now. He's got Timber charging up outside, and Martin Odegaard instead picks the ball up, runs into trouble as he tends to do. And Man City can now break forward. The ball played up his near side. They've got pace, Man City, haven't they? Savinho here on his near side, whips across in, looking for Haaland. Haaland gets a header down, but it's cleared away by Thomas Partey, but only half cleared, really. And Arsenal can't get the ball away at the moment, but we should do now. Martin Odegaard gets back finally after his mistake at the other end. But Arsenal give the ball away far too quick. Look at Mikel Arteta. Look where he is. He's halfway down the touchline, out of his technical area, and constantly telling the team what to do. He's done this for 5 years. If they don't know what they're doing, I don't know how many camera went again. Done it a couple of times today. Anyway, there we go. Terry says Haaland goes to the beach so he can ride things like 29. Yes, I think we know what you mean there. El Loco says the over-reliance on Saka deluded Arsenal fans and Arteta into thinking we had a striker. Well, no, we didn't need a striker. I think more so likely. And says we should have kept Berif. I'm not sure he'd have been good enough, personally. But I suppose he's a better option than what we've got at the minute, which is no one. Anyway, Man City are having another good spell of possession as we count down towards half-time. I think it's important Arsenal keep this lead. Phil Foden chips the ball to this near side. Again, it's Guardiola. That's a first-time whip ball all the way across. And Arsenal scramble it clear there. What a great ball that was from Guardiola. I do love him. I think he's a fantastic football player. Wow, you know, Arsenal got a little bit of an issue at left-back. He would be perfect, wouldn't he? Not that Man City are going to let us have him. Of course not. Why would they? But he's fantastic, isn't he? He's a fantastic player. And Man City are having a really good spell here over on that far side. But there's going to be a free kick there, surely, by Phil Foden. But Guardiola there, what a cross that was. First time volley on his left foot. Look at that. Wow. And we just managed to scramble it away. Just got a fingertip to actually David Raya, which may have proved crucial actually to stop Bernardo Silva getting on the end of that. El Loco says the club should have kept either Flo or Berif, who scored a hat-trick yesterday, instead of flogging them for peanuts. Well, I don't think either of them would have been the answer, if I'm honest. I don't. But the way things are at the minute, with the lack of forwards that we have, it may have been worth keeping one of them at least, I suppose, or sending them out on loan so that we've got the option at the club. I don't know. I'm not sure. Out of those two, I think Balogun would have been the better option, maybe to have kept, but I don't think either of them were good enough, really. I don't. But it's not necessarily about getting rid of players like that, is it? What it's about is it's about the players that you bring in, and we just haven't brought in the players. Everyone else was giving the ball away in a dangerous area. Martin Odegaard does well actually to win it back. I'm not sure if it's his mistake to give it away, but anyway, he's done well to win it back. Oh, and Arsenal must give it away again. And Man City are definitely on top at the moment, aren't they? As we head down towards half-time in the last minute and a half of this first half. Guardiola again on this near side. Plays the ball into Phil Foden. Now it's with Kovacic. Kovacic will bring it forward. Plays it into Erling Haaland. Gets a touch off to Phil Foden. Now it's with Bernardo Silva. Plays it out to that far side. Núñez chips it in. Oh, it wasn't a bad ball. Oh, it's not a great header. Savinho shot. Good save again from David Raya. The shot got a deflection as well, which made the save even better. And Arsenal are just hanging on here before half-time. Again, the ball comes out to this near side to Savinho. Can he get the cross in? He does get the cross in. It's over hit, but it's going to stay in over on the far side. It's chipped back in again. And there's almost a volley there. Comes out to the edge of the box, and it was a volley from Kovacic. And Arsenal are hanging on here as we head towards half-time. El Loco says they might not be the answer but there would be an upgrade on Jesus. Well, yeah, you would imagine so. Oh, they've got a bad deflection, actually. That's another good save from David Raya, actually. Terry says we bring back Stefan Schwartz. I think Thierry Henry in the studio looked fit. He could do a job, I would have thought. Anyway, not sure. But anyway, Arsenal trying to play it out from the back. We're into the last few seconds of normal time at the end of this first half. It's not going to be much stoppage time, has it? Because there actually hasn't been that many stoppages. The game's flowed pretty well. And Arsenal looking for a second goal, which we should already have. We've had one disallowed, and then Kai Havertz missed an absolute sitter, didn't he? Only 1 minute of stoppage time. Yeah, there you go. I wasn't expecting there to be too much. It is just that 1 minute. And John Stones has done well there, hasn't he? Under pressure from Kai Havertz, and now he finds Savino plays the ball forward into Erling Haaland, who's dropped deep. William Saliba takes it off him and manages to get the ball all the way back to David Raya. And his long ball forward should be dealt with easily enough by Guardiola. It is. And Man City now in the last few seconds of this first half. If Arsenal going at half-time in front, that's going to be a great... that's what we need to do now, don't we? Anyway, Núñez coming forward again. Man City building some more pressure. Are they going to get time for one more big chance before this half's over? Probably not. In fact, they're not, because there goes the half-time whistle. It is Arsenal 1, Man City 0. And it was that very, very early goal from Martin Ødegaard. A disaster at the back from Man City, I have to say. It was Manuel Akanji there, caught in possession by Declan Rice, and Kai Havertz squared the ball for Martin Ødegaard to tap in. We had the ball in net again through Martinelli, but he was offside. And Kai Havertz has missed an absolute sitter as well in between all of that. But Man City have hit a crossbar, and David Raya has made a couple of good saves. It is Arsenal 1, Man City 0 at half-time. We are maybe slightly fortunate to be ahead. And you don't imagine we can hang on like that for the whole of the second half without Man City scoring, certainly. We need a second goal, don't we? El Loco says, or even Nicholas Bentner might still do something. Yeah, saw him in a documentary on Thursday playing as little boy. Yeah, he was quite underrated, Nicholas Bentner. Phil says, so far so lucky. Yeah, we've been a little bit fortunate, you have to say. Terry says, is it the beard that gives it? Oh, I see. Talking about Ramirez from Chelsea women. She does look a bit manly, shall we say. Anyway, there was a few other games in the Premier League. There is a few other games in the Premier League today. There was earlier. Brentford 0, Tottenham 2. Janel Elngol and Pape Sarr with their goals. And as we mentioned briefly before, Man United 0, Crystal Palace 2. Mateta with both of those goals for Crystal Palace. Fantastic. He would certainly be a good player, wouldn't he, to look at, I think. Absolutely he would. And that is, and of course, Arsenal winning as well, 1-0 at half-time, as we know. Now, the WSL had some games on as well today. We know Arsenal won 4-3 earlier. Brighton won, Crystal Palace won. Everton beat Leicester 4-1. Liverpool beat West Ham 1-0. And yeah, Chelsea did win 1-0. A late own goal from Sarah Malin. Well, they're so lucky, aren't they, Chelsea? Anyway, Chelsea have won that game, and it's Spurs against Man United kicking off a bit later on, actually, 6:45. Might maybe watch a bit of that after this. El Loco says, yeah, Ramirez is 99.9% a bloke, which is why she's not playing in US with all the shenanigans against LB. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and they maybe do a few more tests over there, don't they? Anyway, Terry says, Limpar's at the ground today. He's looking fit and well. Good day, is he? Oh, good stuff. I got to say, I do love a little bit of Anders Limpar. He was a fantastic player, wasn't he? Again, he was a little bit of an ego player, wasn't he, I suppose. But there you go. Which is quite good, isn't it? So at the moment, and as things stand in the table, we would be 6 points behind Liverpool, would of course have a game in hand Nottingham Forest are 3 points further back, and then Man City are would be 6 points further back. Although they would still be in fourth, of course. Newcastle losing yesterday. Chelsea aren't playing until tomorrow. They could jump into if it stays like this, a win for Chelsea tomorrow, they'll jump back into the top four. They're playing West Ham, of course. We've got Evan Ferguson, I believe, on loan from Brighton. And that is like the battle for the top four, really, isn't it? Or the top 5 or 6. That is where it's going to be happening, isn't it? So Man City definitely need something from this game if they're going to kind of keep in that top 4. But yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting game. It's certainly gone a little bit better than I was anticipating, but it is only half time, isn't it? And anything can still happen, as we know. But yeah, let's see what the second half brings. Of course, Wednesday night, it is the Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg, isn't it? Newcastle versus Arsenal from St James's Park. I'll be there. I am there at the ground, so there'll be a vlog of that game to come. So look out for that. Thursday, of course, it is the other semi-final of the women. It is Arsenal women against Manchester City, the League Cup semi-final there. So that's going to be good, isn't it? Friday, we'll be back with the Arsenal women's show. And then, of course, next week or next Sunday, it's an international break for the men, isn't it? So the women have got the FA Cup to come against London City Lionesses next Sunday. So lots and lots to come on the channel. Lots and lots of great stuff as well to come, isn't there? So let's see what the second half here brings. But it is going to be good, isn't it? So let's see what happens. So what's the second half going to bring, do we think? Let's have a look and see. Terry says, am I wrong liking Trump? Could do with someone like him. No, I agree with you. Absolutely, we could. Absolutely. Greg says, well, will the blog be in black and white? No, well, hopefully it will be in colour, because hopefully it'll be in red and white. Terry says, are you playing left back or just watching this time? Well, I mean, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Unfortunately. Well, I mean, I'll take my boots just in case. You never know. Might get a call up, mightn't I? Mark C says, Berry's definitely upgrade over Jesus. I'm not. See, I don't know. It's difficult to say, isn't it? Because what you've got to remember is, with this Arsenal team under this manager, it's all about the system, isn't it? And would Berry have fitted in? Would he have fitted in with this system? I don't know. Obviously, Mikel Arteta didn't think so, which is why he got rid of him, and the same with Flo Balogun. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. It's difficult to say, is it? Because Arsenal are so much about the system as opposed to necessarily the individual players as such. I think it's difficult to know whether or not a player who is doing well somewhere else would necessarily do well at Arsenal, because it all depends whether they'd fit in. Russ says there, would you like Watkins at Arsenal? I mean, that's a better way of putting it. Would I like him at Arsenal? Yes, because he's better than what we've got. Would I want us to pay 60, 70 million for him at 29, nearly 30 years old? No, because to me, he's not the long-term solution to this problem that we've got in the centre forward position. I like Ollie Watkins. I think he's a good player, and I think he's a sort of player that will certainly be better than what we've got, absolutely. But we can't be spending 65, 70 million on a 29, nearly 30-year-old striker. I would love Ollie Watkins to come to the end of the season on loan, absolutely, because I think he would do a job between now and the end of the season, be able to help us out in what we've in the competitions. But I mean, would he be cup tied? He'd probably be cup tied from the Carabao Cup or he'll probably be. We're at the FA Cup anyway. He'd probably be cup tied for the Champions League because he'd have played for Aston Villa. He could only really play in the Premier League for 65 million. No, not for 65 million. I would take him if we can get a better deal. Because I like Ollie Watkins. I think he's good. But, yeah. I think the summer is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because if we don't bring in at least one striker in the summer, like the proper striker that Mikel Arteta says he needs, right, then it just goes to show, doesn't it, that the ambition of the club is... nowhere near enough. They're quite happy just to settle for second best. And that's not, for Arsenal, that should never be good enough. But let's see. Do I think we're going to bring in a striker tomorrow? No. If I'm honest, no. Greg says it's not an upgrade we need a title. No, well, you're right, we do. I mean, for the time being, between now and the end of this season, we need upgrade on that position. We do. In the long term, I agree. We need a total overhaul of our forward players. Absolutely, we do. I agree with that 100%. But that won't happen until the summer. We can't go in tomorrow. If tomorrow's window ends and we haven't got in a striker or forward player that is going to help us now, then we've lost out on a big opportunity, haven't we? And I think that's going to cost us when it comes down to it. I don't think we're good enough to win the league anyway, but I think it might cost us an opportunity to win anything else. So it would be a big opportunity missed. So I agree we need an overhaul, but overhauls are in the summer, not in January. Terry says, after your last time of playing there, you have 100% goal scoring record. Well, that is true. In fact, I've scored more times at St James's Park than Arsenal have in the last 2 seasons. So I would be a better option, absolutely. But I say I'll take my boots, and if Mikel, if I get the call up, I'll be more than happy to help out if I can. Mark C says, not really, Greg. We've got a quality team. We just lack a quality striker. I don't really agree with that, actually, and I'll tell you why. I think we've got good players. Absolutely, we've got good players, and we've got good players that work in Mikel Arteta's system when everything goes to plan. What we don't have is we don't have game changers. We don't have players who can come off the bench and win us a game. That's what we don't have. And if you're going to win big trophies, that's what you need. So in that sense, the squad needs an overhaul. And I think some of the players in our first team, I think the defence is okay. Well, I'll say the defence is okay. The first 4 in defence are okay. We don't have any cover for William Saliba. We don't really have much decent cover for Gabriel. And we can't rely on them being fit every single game, season after season. So there's a problem there. That we need to overhaul our backup in defence. In midfield, our midfield very, very samey, isn't it? Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Jorginho. They're all very, very similar players. We need to overhaul that and get in players that can offer an alternative, something different. And that's the problem that we've got. Mikel Arteta doesn't want anything different because he just wants to do like for like and make no changes at all. So everything stays the same because he can't adapt, which is our biggest problem. And again, in the front 3, we know what we do need an overhaul there. I think we need 2 wingers and at least 1 striker, even maybe 2 strikers to really compete. That's what I think we need. That's what we probably need, if we're realistic, to give us a squad that I think will be deep enough for us to compete for all the trophies going forward. We need 2 centre backs, a left back. I think we need 2 midfielders. And we need a striker and at least 1 winger, maybe 2. So there is an overhaul, isn't it? It's 6 or 7 players. And all that money we've spent, and that we're still short. We're still a lot short, aren't we? but we do have a quality. I said we've got a good team. We've got a very good team, but it's not enough, is it? It's not quite enough. And she says, I'll take Watkins. He'll surprise. Well, no, he won't surprise us. We know he's a good player, but he's nearly 30 years old. So we don't want to spend. We don't want to be spending 65 million on him if it's going to mean in the summer we can't then go out and get a player like Alexander Isak, for example, or Gyökeres, whoever it might be that's the proper striker that we're after. If we waste 65 million on a 30-year-old now, we're not going to be able to get the right player that we need in the summer, are we? That's the way I look at it. We need a short-term solution now, and if we can get a player on loan, brilliant. If we can get Ollie Watkins on loan, brilliant. Take him, absolutely. I agree. I like Ollie Watkins, but I wouldn't pay 65 million for him if it's going to mean that's then going to eat into our transfer budget in the summer, which means we can't then spend 100 million, 120 million, or 150 million on buying the top level striker that we need. Alexander Isak would be my personal choice, but I don't think we'll get him. El Loco says, Arteta's next contract extension must include a clause never to buy Man City, Chelsea, etc. Well, I wouldn't give him a contract extension until he's actually started winning some trophies. He's been back to the hilt, really, and he can complain all he likes about, oh, we haven't got the money now. The club can't get me a striker. If you hadn't wasted half the money you've wasted on some of the crap players that you've bought, we'd have more money now to be able to have bought that striker. So it's your fault, mate. It's absolutely your fault. But I wouldn't give him a contract extension anyway. Terry says, you've already wasted 65 million. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he's done. Mark C says, there's no other keeper I'd have. No, absolutely not. There's no other group of defenders I'd rather have. Our midfield is top drawer. It's our fault. But you've got to look at the backup, haven't you? Yeah, if William Saliba and Gabriel never get injured, that's fine. But inevitably they will get injured because players do get injured. Gabriel's missed a couple of games. Saliba has. You have to have backups. You have to have better backups than what we've got. Same with our midfield are all the same. They're good, but they're all the same. We need something different. Someone that can come in and do something different. Game changer. Someone that can come on and change a game. And obviously the forward areas we know. So I'm not saying that the first 11 necessarily needs a lot of overhauling. No. The squad needs a massive overhaul. Look at the bench today. Look at the bench today. That's the example there, is it? Look at the defenders that we've got on the bench. Jacob Kiwior, nowhere near good enough. Ricardo Calafiori, okay, he's young, he's learning, he might be okay, but he's no good, is he? Zinchenko, not good enough. Kieran Tierney obviously can't even get a game. Then you look at our midfielders on the bench. Jorginho, Mikel Merino, no difference to what we've got on the pitch already. No, they're not going to change the game, are they? And we know the forward positions. Ranieri is the only one on this bench today that can come on and make a difference. If we need to win this game, if it's 1-1 or we're losing later on in this game, Ethan Ranieri, 19-year-old, 18-year-old, whatever he is, 17-year-old. It's the only one we've got who can come off, who's like to come off the bench and change the game. The defenders can't. Imagine if we have to bring on any of those defenders. We're in trouble, aren't we? We don't have a backup goalkeeper. We saw that the other night. If David Raya gets injured, we're screwed. So I agree with you. I wouldn't change a lot of these first 11 players, but the backups, every single one of them backups needs to go. The squad needs to improve 100%. The depth needs to be much, much better if we're going to win anything. Absolutely, it does. Terry says, I'll text you never get a contract. With the second half started, by the way, but nothing's happened yet. We've only played 50 seconds. Greg says, we don't have players who can react in a game and change. Well, no, we don't have a manager who'll do that anyway, mate, do we? Let's be honest. Watkins, no, isn't Watkins 30? Wasn't he born in 1985? 1995. Anyway, maybe even so, he's still, he's still the wrong age to be spending 65 million on when it's going to mean we can't spend 100 million, 120 million on a 22, 23, 24-year-old striker in the summer. That's what you've got to look at. Watkins isn't a long-term solution, is he? He's got 2 years at the top left in maximum. And that's assuming he doesn't get injured. Mark C says, you want to replace Miles Lewis-Skelly. Calafiori can sit in for him. I don't see left-back as a problem area at all. I do. I think that's a big problem area. Miles Lewis-Skelly is a midfield player, natural midfield player, isn't he? He's having to play at left back, but Mikel Arteta doesn't mind anyway because he wants his midfielders to play in his left back to play in midfield anyway. But I think the backups, you can't just have one backup, really, can you? You need to have options. We don't have enough options outside of our first 12, 13, 14 players, do we? We don't have enough options at all. Anyway, Man City on the attack. They're attacking at the end to our right, which is a clock end where their fans are gathered behind that goal in the far corner. And this could be quite a long half for Arsenal. And that cross comes into this near side. It bounces out of play for a throw to Arsenal. El Loco says, we're not buying a striker this window. Arteta is waiting on Saka's hamstring to heal. Well, yeah, you're probably right. And he says he's a Devonshire lad, like my dear old Devon. He is from Devon, you're right. That's where Ollie Watkins is from. Was it Exeter or somewhere he started his career, didn't he? Terry says, is that where cider's made? A Devonshire. Well, I think they make cider in that part of the world, don't they? You know, Man City trying to come forward again here. And they've managed to win a throw. And they're pegging Arsenal back in this early part of this second half. 48 minutes played. It's still Arsenal 1, Man City 0. That goal from Martin Ødegaard seems a long, long time ago. And this is going to be a very long second half if this is how we're going to play it. Of course, Cornish passes as well, but that's Cornwall, not Devon. Well, it's a similar part of the world, isn't it, I suppose? It's a bit like Essex and Kent, isn't it? Anyway, Man City still in possession. John Stones brings the ball forward to Kovacic. It's into Erling Haaland over on that far side inside the box. And that ball's going to run behind for a goal kick. It was good defending there from William Saliba. Erling Haaland there, almost in. Nice little ball it was as well, but Saliba came across and did a good defensive job. And he's going to be a goal kick. Haaland hasn't had a kick yet, but that kind of worries me because he doesn't need many, does he? I think that might have been his first touch in the Arsenal penalty area just that moment ago there. But he doesn't need many, does he, to be dangerous. Anyway, David Raya now in possession for Arsenal just outside the penalty area. We played nearly 5 minutes. Vicky says, we have got this. Well, I hope we've got it. We've got it at the moment, but there's still a long way to go. And Man City have certainly looked a threat for the majority of this game. We've just given the ball away. Man City have definitely come out for the second half with a bit between their teeth. Phil Foden is making progress. And he was crowded out by 2 or 3 players and he's won a free kick. And that was a free kick waiting to happen, wasn't it? As soon as Phil Foden ran into, it was Martin Ødegaard and a couple of other players over there. Terry says, nothing like the Garden of England. Well, I'm from Essex, so I'll always think Essex is better, although it's not very nice now. But we'll ignore that. I always remember it as it was before I left. You know, Man City have got this free kick, which is midway inside the Arsenal half, just slightly over to that left-hand side. Savinho is, no, it's not Savinho, is it? That is Mamouche. In fact, he leaves it for Phil Foden, whips it in. It's headed out headed up rather than out by Kai Havertz. It's still bouncing around in the penalty area, lofted over the top there by Akanji, but it's straight into the arms there of David Raya. And Arsenal try and come forward. We haven't really got out of our half yet this second half, have we? But we will now. Declan Rice crosses halfway on this near side, plays it back to Thomas Partey, though, back in the Arsenal half. And now it's with William Saliba. Plays up the line to Kai Havertz, playing out on that wing. Plays the ball into Thomas Partey, switches it here to Leandro Trossard. And he get a cross in, he just touches it safe instead to Gabriel. Brings it forward towards the edge of the Man City penalty area. Now finds Trossard on this near side. Tries to go around the outside. Can he get the cross in? He does get the cross in. It's not a bad ball, but it's going to go out of play. It has gone out of play. It's a goal kick to Manchester City. And says the West Country is class. It is. I love the West Country. I used to spend a lot of time there as a kid. We used to go on holiday there every year. My dad had a friend who he used to work with, and he retired to Cornwall. So pretty much every summer we would go to Devon and Cornwall and spend some time there as well. Stay with his friend, and that used to be quite good. I used to love Devon and Cornwall. I absolutely loved them. El Loco says Ethan is warming up. He's going to come on sometime soon. Well, I mean, he might do. I'm not sure if Mikel Arteta. He's more likely to bring on Jorginho or Mikel Merino, isn't he? While it stays at 1-0, I would say, before he brings on Ethan Nwaneri. But let's see. You know, Trossard is having a battle here with Nunes and ends up going back to goalkeeper David Raya. But Arsenal have been pegged back, haven't they, for much of this game? But to be fair, Man City haven't really had too many big chances, have they? He's made a couple of good saves, hasn't he, David Raya, in that first half. One from the Guardiola header, and then the other one was from the deflected shot from Savinho. But other than that, Man City haven't really threatened for all their possession that they've had. They haven't really found a way behind the Arsenal defence. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. There's a player over on that far side. Martin Odegaard got in the way of the pass. And in the end, that stopped that attack from developing, actually. I think the ball was meant to go out to Kai Havertz on the far side, and Martin Odegaard got in the way. And in the end, it didn't quite work out as it needed to, did it? And now there's an offside against Gabriel Martinelli. And it is going to be a free kick to Manchester City, which they've taken quickly. Mark C says there, I can get my mouse to work. Carl Martin checked the offside line. Well, yeah, he should have done there. And Man City again bringing the ball forward over on that far side. You do feel as though Arsenal aren't going to be able to defend this whole second half without conceding a goal, but who knows? Anyway, Nunes plays it back into Phil Foden. That's a nice ball into the penalty area. Across towards the far post. Erling Haaland's there, a header. And Erling Haaland has scored a header. And I said he's going to make Gabriel look silly. And that's exactly what he's done. He doesn't need many chances, does he, Erling Haaland? And he just needs a decent ball to him, which he got there. And he's buried that header. And it is 1-1. And you have to say that goal's been coming pretty much for the last 20 minutes of the first half, and certainly the first 10 minutes of the second half. It is 1-1, and that is why Erling Haaland is the best centre forward in the world right now. I mean, you have to give credit to the cross as well. It was nice play. It was a lovely dinked up ball. I mean, he just hung in the air, didn't he, in front of William Saliba. It was a lovely cross from Savinho, I think it was. I mean, William Saliba's got completely the wrong side of him. Oh, no, actually, is it Lewis Skelly? And that is a fantastic header, you have to say. That is where your centre forward earns their money. David Raya couldn't get nowhere near that one. That is an exceptional goal from an exceptional player. And it is 1-1. And he looks quite happy about that, doesn't he? And that's his 250th goal, wow, in his club career. 250th goal. And he's only, what, 22, is he? Christ. That's a proper striker, isn't it? That is a proper striker. He's done it in 313 games as well. Incredible. And so he doesn't need many. Oh, Man City have just given the ball away. Thomas Partey. Is he going to try a shot from the edge of the box? He does. Oh, and he scored. Oh, Man City were level for about 2 minutes. And Thomas Partey scored. Man City have given the ball away again. Quite incredible here. What on earth is going on in this game? 2 goals in a minute. And that was John Stones. And they say you're most vulnerable when you just concede a goal. And that was the case there. Man City have just conceded another one. Terrible mistake at the back again, it was. And what on earth was they thinking there? Actually, that wasn't John Stones that gave the ball away. I mean, that's a good strike from Thomas Partey. Did it take a deflection off John? Oh, it did. Look at that deflection there. Wow. It was a deflection off John Stones. Nick Nack says, what a start to the second half indeed. Arsenal got a bit lucky there, actually, because that deflection could have gone anywhere and it just bent it into that far corner. That is quite unlucky. Nick Nack says, Stones turned his back. Well, he did, but he's kind of got the block on it. And you have to say we've been a bit fortunate in this game. We were fortunate to be in front at half-time. Erling Haaland must be absolutely gutted. Just brought them level. And Arsenal have gone up the other end and scored straight away. Man City giving the ball away. El Loco says, we have relied on scraps and mistakes from City. We have, yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got to make the most of these situations, haven't you? You know, you've got to punish mistakes, and we've punished the mistakes. And that's what you've got to do. Man City have played with much more quality than us. There's no doubt about that. But we're winning. And Man City have got it all to do again. Having got themselves level, they would have felt they could have gone on and won this game. Anyway, that's a really good switch of play over to that far side. Savinho takes it in his stride. Guardiola tries to run the ball through. Man City are back in again. Great defending that was there from Gabriel. Has gone out for a throw to Manchester City. And Akanji now plays it up this near side to Nunes, gets it back again. Man City now still in the ascendancy, but Arsenal's taken the lead again. Phil Foden, oh, that's a poor ball actually. And he can't win it back. And now Arsenal on the breakaway here, but you need a striker with a bit of pace there. And it was Kai Havertz on the end of it, so say no more. The ball's back with Ortega. And now Man City trying to come forward again inside the centre circle. Let's remember they've got Kevin De Bruyne on the bench. They've got Jack Grealish on the bench as well. And, you know, I know he's maybe not played much football, but anyway, Lewis Kelly plays that ball forward to Kai Havertz. Touches it off to Trossard on this near side. I mean, Kai Havertz will feel a little bit more happy with life after his miss in the first half. Looked like it might have been crucial there when Man City got level. You know, Thomas Partey's not going to try another shot, is he? Kai Havertz is in again. Oh, but there's a good tackle on him there, actually. Was that Akanji? That was a really good tackle in actual fact. And now Man City can come forward themselves. They've got pace over on that far side with Savinho, the Brazilian. Cuts in past Martinelli, his compatriot. And Man City have got a player over on this near side. Bernardo Silva instead finds Phil Foden. Ball stuck to his left foot. Plays up this near side. Nunes whips across in. Oh, it was almost a header at the near post, actually. But Arsenal managed to clear it away. And Arsenal now again into defensive mode. We played an hour, actually. 15 minutes in the second half has absolutely flown by. It's Arsenal 2, Man City 1. It's been an incredible game. And as things stand, it'll be a really good result for Arsenal as well. There's a long way to go. Half an hour. And you certainly feel Man City are going to score at least one more goal. You definitely feel it, don't you? El Loco says, MLS is isolated at left back. They're getting lots of joy there. Maybe time for Calafiore. Well, I mean, Calafiore will be isolated as well, won't he? I would imagine. But anyway, I can't see there being too many changes at the moment. Anyway, Man City are attacking again over on that far side with Savinho. But that's going to go out, is it, for a throw? No, it isn't. The Brazilian keeps it in. Now he's going to have a run at Martinelli. Oh, he's overhit that pass, though. Phil Foden made a good run inside. It's gone behind for a goal kick. It was Phil Foden actually gave the ball away, which led to the goal. And it got a bit lucky, the deflection there. He tried to bend that pass round. It's a dangerous ball, actually, in front of your own penalty area, wasn't it? And to be fair, without that deflection, I don't think that goes in. I think the goalkeeper saves it quite comfortably. The deflection's made all the difference to that. And Man City were level very, very shortly. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again, looking for a third goal. Miles Lewis-Skelly finds Declan Rice inside the penalty area on this near side. Plays it back to Thomas Partey. He's got deflected back out to Gabriel. Gabriel now trying to come forward, lays it off to Declan Rice. Plays it into Miles Lewis-Skelly. Can he get a shot away inside the penalty area? Miles Lewis-Skelly. Oh, he scored. That's a fabulous goal. That's 3-1, and surely that seals it. Miles Lewis-Skelly with the goal. And he does the Haaland celebration as well, just to rub it in even more. And surely now Arsenal have won this game. Miles Lewis-Skelly there. A lovely goal from him, his first Arsenal goal. And what a time to get it, and what a way to get it as well. Brilliant goal there. Fantastic stuff. He got the ball in a little bit of space on the edge of the area, drove in, cut inside, banged it with his right foot into that far corner. That is a fantastic goal. And that is brilliant stuff. And the goalkeeper got a hand on it, couldn't keep it out. And how important is that goal going to be? Arsenal have now scored twice in 5 minutes. And it is 3-1. And surely it is game over for Man City. The goalkeeper got a hand on it. Should have maybe done better with that. Mark C says 3 goals from open play today. Well, 2 of them from mistakes from Man City. But even so, you've still got to score them. And Miles Lewis-Skelly has just scored a sensational goal. And that's a moment that will live with him forever. His first Arsenal goal, and what a cracker it was. Absolutely brilliant stuff there. And surely now that's going to seal the points. You can't see Man City coming back from this, surely. Certainly not the way that they've played. And wow, incredible goal from an incredible player. And it is Arsenal 3, Manchester City 1. And surely that is 3 more points for Arsenal now. You cannot see them coming back. El Loco says Miles Lewis-Skelly has just become a Gunners legend. Nick Nack says a 4th goal was sealed. I think this is sealed it, to be honest. I can't see Man City coming back from this. They've just given the ball away again. In fact, they've picked it up again, actually. It's quite frantic out there. Now there might be some space opening up. There's some space on this near side for Nunes, who's always got forward every opportunity. Plays the ball square. Man City will need to find a goal quickly if they're going to have any chance of getting back into it. The cross comes in. Haaland jumped, couldn't get there. El Loco says, with the emergence of MLS and Waneri from the youth side, more reason for Arteta not to buy a striker. Well, yeah, I mean, neither of those 2 are strikers, though, are they? Shame we haven't found a striker like that in the youth team that we can burst onto the scene. Anyway, Man City will give this a go, I'm sure. They've come back from worse situations than this before, but you just can't see it today. It just doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? Anyway, Nunes has done well. Plays the ball back to Akanji. Ag says minutes left. Well, there's 25 minutes to go. We've played 65. So there is still lots of time. And if Man City can score quite quickly a 2nd goal, then who knows? But anyway, it looks as though they're not going to be able to. They haven't looked good enough today. They've made too many defensive mistakes, and going forward, they haven't really threatened enough. Nick Nack says, if it stays as it is, City have lost more games this season in Bournemouth, Fulham and Brighton. Well, yeah, exactly. But they'll still be above them in the league, though. There you go. Vicky P says, feeling confident. Well, we should be feeling confident, absolutely. I mean, if we can keep this 2-goal lead for the next 10 minutes, then I'll be really confident that we're going to see this through. But there is still a lot of time left. And we're not going to show too much ambition, I don't think, to try and score again. But this has been a great day for Arsenal, hasn't it? The women beat Man City 4-3 earlier on today. The men are now winning 3-1 against Man City this afternoon. What a day it's been. But it's not over yet. And Man City are still coming forward, pressing. Ball played out to that far side, but it's not going to be kept in there, is it, by Guardiola? It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. El Loco says, nice touch by MLS with that celebration mimicking Erling Haaland. Yeah, it was. And there's a guy from Brentford who does that celebration as well, isn't there? Johan Wissa. But yeah, it was quite a good celebration there, wasn't it? Kept sitting down on the bench now, wondering what he needs to do to change this game around. They probably don't need to do a lot different, Man City, other than stop making mistakes at the back and just move the ball a bit quicker in the final third. But anyway, Arsenal are looking fairly comfortable at the minute. Erling Haaland puts David Raya under pressure, and it's a poor clearance out as a result of that. Only as far as Guardiola over on that far side. Bringing the ball forward, touches it in field to Kovacic. It's a good tackle there by Kai Havertz. Now Arsenal can break forward with Declan Rice. He's got options either side. Threads it through to Martinelli over on the far side. Martinelli inside the box. Is it going to be 4? Good save from Ortega. And it comes to Trossard here. And Man City are getting ripped apart at times. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Trossard there's been fouled. Nick Nack said City losing their heads now. They are a little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. With 22 minutes to play. Was he not offside there, Martinelli, actually? Anyway, it wasn't a great finish, was it? The goalkeeper made a good save, but Martinelli made it easy for him, really, didn't he? It was fairly close to him. And again, showing little composure in big moments, Martinelli. Anyway, Trossard is back on his feet again. And he leaves his free kick for Declan Rice. Coming up to a big 10 minutes here for Arsenal, isn't it? If we can either get the 4th goal or certainly stop Man City getting a second goal, then you feel as though we'll be there. Anyway, there's a lot of pointing going on by the referee. As Man City look to defend this set piece, Declan Rice prepares to take it. It's almost as good as a corner, this, isn't it? But he whips it into the near post. Wasn't a great delivery, was it? Easily cleared away by Kovacic. Oh, look, as if that kick by Bernardo on Trossard was from an Arsenal player, the ref would have carded out in the face. I don't think so. I don't think so. We don't want to see that, do we, really? It's just, you know, the game's already become too soft. Anyway, De Bruyne and McAtee are coming on now. So it's desperate times for Pep Guardiola, isn't it? Desperate times. Can Man City find a way to come back into this game? It would take something rather special from them because Arsenal have managed to gain control back here. And Martin Odegaard there's just conceded a free kick on the edge of the Man City penalty area. And he's going to get a yellow card for his protests, which were rather animated. And he's still continuing the protest now. Anyway. Eloko says, there you go, Carver. Well, I don't think you can really be that vocal in your protest without getting a yellow card. I thought that's fair enough. I mean, it may not have been a foul, but you can't protest like that. Man City making their 2 subs now. Phil Foden's going off, paying the price for giving the ball away for the second goal. And McAtee is coming on. And Savinho is going off. Oh, no, he's not. It's Mamou, sorry, he's going off for Kevin De Bruyne. And as Kevin De Bruyne has got 20 minutes here, and if he can get into his rhythm, that's going to be dangerous, isn't it? Because we know what a great player he is. Anyway, John Stones now for Man City. They're trying to play through Arsenal's press. They haven't managed to do so because they've given the ball away over on that far side. Trying to come forward again. And is Timber going to get there? He does. And he's won the corner for Arsenal. And this is where we want to keep the ball up that end of the pitch. But let's see. Nick now says, you can see the confidence now as it's going 3-1 up. Yeah, we do look a bit more confident now, yeah. I think that Man City have been knocked back as well by the goals, the 2 quick goals. You know, having got themselves level at 1-1, they would have fancied their chances at that point. But yeah, Arsenal have certainly made the most of those opportunities, and you know, this corner comes in, the goalkeeper punches it away, not really very convincingly, but Man City do manage to get away with it. Now they can try and bring the ball forward. In the end, it's played all the way back to David Raya. Erling Haaland is after it. And that is a poor clearance, actually, from David Raya. We can't afford to keep giving the ball back to Manchester City as easily as we have done. Anyway, Bernardo Silva now is bringing it forward for City. Arsenal 3, Man City 1, 73 minutes on the clock. And if City are going to find a comeback here, they're going to need a goal very shortly, aren't they? Mark C says he's had a good game today. Well, he's done all right today, Martin Odegaard. I still think he's one of the most overrated players in the Premier League. He's nowhere near as good as everybody thinks he is. He's done all right today, though. But yeah, anyway, Miles Lewis-Skelly almost gets himself in a muddle, but actually does well, brings the ball forward and holds off Erling Haaland and wins a free kick. And he was bouncing off players there, Miles Lewis-Skelly. What a talent this lad is. Absolutely no question about his ability. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. His strength as well he showed. And he was fouled by Erling Haaland. And he's won a free kick. That's brilliant, brilliant stuff. 18 years old, Miles Lewis-Skelly. Wow, what a player. What an incredible player. Anyway, Arsenal got our free kick on halfway. It is Lewis-Skelly's goal, of course. That's given Arsenal this 2-goal cushion, which we needed a 2-goal cushion as well, let's be honest. And it may well be enough to see us over the line to get these 3 points that was so important, or are so important. Terry says 99 times out of 100, he plays like a failed one. Look at that. No, I agree. He disappears too often. Absolutely does. But everyone loves him, don't they? Because he cheers the crowd up. Anyway, Man City coming forward. And that's a ping by Kanji over to that far side. Savinho's gone over that onto that wing now. Guardiola finds Savinho again. Gets it back, Guardiola. I mean, Man City aren't out of this game completely, but with 15 minutes to go, they're going to need something quite dramatic. They did score, of course, a late goal, didn't they, at the Etihad to get a 2-2 draw. But they don't look as though they're going to do it now. Nick Nack says, you're a better team with Odegaard in it than not. I only think that that's mainly because of the system that we play. Suits him. That's the only reason why. And we don't know what to do. We haven't got a plan without him. That's another reason, isn't it? Man City coming forward now, but wasn't a great ball forward. They've lost the ball. And now Arsenal on the counter-attack. This is where we're going to be dangerous. Martinelli, he's got Kai Havertz gone outside him. He's found Kai Havertz. Is this going to be 4? Oh, it is 4. Kai Havertz with the goal. That seals it on the counter-attack, and that makes up for that miss in the first half. And Arsenal have scored 4 against Manchester City for the 2nd time today. And this is quite incredible stuff. And another heavy defeat for Manchester City this season is on the cards again, isn't it? I think that says game over now, surely. Havertz needed that. He did. Game over, says Mark. A great day for Arsenal, says Vic. It is indeed a great day for Arsenal. But that was a good counter-attack, wasn't it? That's always going to be the danger for Man City, wasn't it? As they come forward, that was always going to be the danger, wasn't it? And it is a 4th goal. Why's me telly doing that? I mean, telly's just decided to have a mad half an hour. Anyway. Oh, we've got it back now. Bukayo Saka there in the crowd enjoying that one. Just watching a replay of it. That's how you play on the counter attack, isn't it? That's what you want to see. That's fantastic stuff. Nick Nack says, cracking result, was expecting a much tighter game. Well, I think the game's been tighter than the scoreline. I think there's no doubt about that. El Loco says, redemption for Havertz, humiliation for Pep and City. Credit for that goes to Partey. He pinched the ball. Well, I mean, it was a poor pass, but yeah, he finished it. Phil says, get in, indeed, get in. And Man City have fallen apart here. Greg says, Pep must be looking for a new job. Well, you would imagine he might be. And we have definitely bossed Manchester City in this second half. Since the equaliser went in, it's all gone wrong for Man City, hasn't it? It's all gone wrong for Pep. But of course, what it does mean is that we're going to have the day off tomorrow on transfer deadline day, aren't we? We are going to have the day off. And it is going to be, Pep looks like he's going to cry. Last season, we took 4 points off Man City. This season, we're going to take 4 points off Man City, but ultimately, it's probably not going to lead to where we want it to lead to, which is winning the league title. But it's certainly given me a bit of confidence going ahead of Wednesday night, actually. We can certainly score 4 against Newcastle, can't we? Joe says there, 4-1, the Gunners are back. Pep must be gutted. Well, yeah, obviously, he will be gutted, yeah. He looked like he was going to cry a minute ago, didn't he? Poor old Pep. But anyway, Arsenal have given a ball away here almost dangerously there. I mean, with 10 minutes to go, just over, the game is done. And you can't see a way back for Manchester City now, can you? But let's finish the job off. Let's get a couple more goals, eh? That would be good, wouldn't it? Man City's heads have definitely gone. And we're coming forward again here with a chance to maybe get another one. Kai Havertz, who's come to life since that goal. And it is going to be another corner to Arsenal. Arsenal looking. Man City have gone now. There's no doubt about it. It's not the first time this season we've seen that happen. They're all over the place here. Greg says 8 goals against City today. Indeed. I wonder when the last time that happened was. Nick Nack says they aren't in great form right now. Nick Nack says it's all about scoring early against Newcastle. Not necessarily. No, it's about not conceding early. I think that's the key. It's about not conceding the first goal. I think if Newcastle score and it's 3-0 on aggregate, that's it. It's game over. We need to score first in that game, not necessarily early, just first. And if that, hang on, we might get another goal here. Gabriel trying something spectacular. Man City clear it away. But Declan Rice has done well. And Miles Lewis-Skelly should just tidy this up back to David Raya. But yeah, I just think we need to score the first goal. It doesn't, to me, I'm not bothered how early it is necessarily. It doesn't even matter if it's 0-0 at half time. We just need to score the first goal. Obviously not in the 95th minute because that would be too late. But I think as long as we score the first goal with at least 20 minutes to play, with at least 20 minutes left, Newcastle will start to get nervy. They will. So, you know, we just need to score first. But the important thing is going to be getting through the first 10 or 15 minutes without conceding up there because they're going to come flying out the blocks at us, I'm sure. With the crowd up for it and everything else like that, it's going to be tough in those opening minutes here. But if we can see that through, grow into the game, I think we can do it. I really do. I didn't 2 weeks ago. I didn't think we had a hope in hell. But seeing the last couple of Newcastle performances at home, they've been opened up. We can certainly score goals against them. Absolutely, we can. But it won't be easy. And history isn't on our side, really, in terms of the fact no team's ever won 2-0 in the first leg away from home and not got to the final. And we haven't even scored at Newcastle on our last 2 visits. But we're coming into it in some good form here, aren't we? And we should be full of confidence after this game. Martin Odegaard now tries to get a cross in, but it's cleared away. And then it's a foul to Arsenal. Gabriel and Erling Haaland haven't really forgiven each other from events from before. Nick Nat says should be a good watch anyway. Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Oleko says this must be Arsenal's most satisfying result of the season. It trumps the 5-1 against Sporting Lisbon. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, Man City aren't the team they were. Let's remember that. But yeah, beating City 4-1 is a fantastic result, and in the manner that we've done it in the second half as well. And now Ethan Nwaneri's coming on, and Mikel Merino as well. Surprised we didn't see Jorginho actually, but anyway, who's going off? Martin Odegaard's going off. There you go. You see the captain, fantastic. He very rarely gets to see a game out. Trossard's going off as well. I thought Trossard had a decent game today, actually. Well done, Leandro Trossard. Martin Odegaard's going off as well. I still don't think Martin Odegaard's fit, if I'm honest. He doesn't look fit, does he? Anyway, Trossard's gone off. He had a decent game. And Ethan Nwaneri is coming on. Another teenager. We've had one teenager on the score sheet. Can we get another one? He scored a great goal in midweek in Genoa, didn't he? In the Champions League. And Mikel Merino's coming on as well. Martin Odegaard looks dead on his feet, doesn't he? I just don't think he's fit at the moment. But anyway, Mikel Merino is on. And it is a free kick to Arsenal. A long way out. What, 35 yards at least. Take it quickly to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Plays out his near side to Martinelli. Martinelli goes around the outside. Can he get across? And he does get across in towards the far post. It's headed up and away. And Gabriel keeps it in. And finds Juran Timber. Just going to be a fifth goal. No, it isn't. That's a good tackle actually there by Kovacic. And now Guardiola can try and bring the ball away. And Kovacic almost gets himself in a bit of a muddle there. And he has conceded the corner. And Man City have definitely gone. Joel says, one more goal. Beating Man City 5-1 would be like the days of Henry and Burkett. Well, it would, yeah. We beat them 5-1 then, didn't we? Do you remember that? At Main Road. Our last visit to Main Road, that was. What a great game that turned out to be. Yeah, Williams Lee, we're going to try and go to the corner flag. He's put that ball behind. Total miss kick there. You're not a right winger, mate. That's the problem. So into the last 5 minutes here at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 4, Manchester City 1. And Arsenal are cruising to a big 3 points here today. Puts us 3 points clear in second place. 6 points behind Liverpool, although they do have that game in hand still. Which we can't worry about Liverpool's games or their game in hand. We just have to win as many games as we can. That's all we can do. Dean says their problem is we've somehow pulled this performance out and probably draw a 0-0 in a drab, boring game at St James's. Well, maybe. Maybe we will. Greg says the crowd are chanting, "Are you Tottenham in disguise?" Yeah, I know, that's quite funny. Terry says, I hope you've got a good excuse for not being here. Well, you know, it must be the weather in Sweden, I would imagine. Anyway, Arsenal now in possession over on the far side. We're into the last 4 minutes of normal time here at the Emirates. Arsenal have won this game and in the end won it quite convincingly. The funny thing is, it's a better game to watch when Arsenal don't have loads and loads of possession. Because when we have loads and loads of possession, it just becomes really boring. But, you know, when it's been a game like this where we haven't had lots of possession, the game's just so much more exciting to watch, isn't it? It's just so much better. And I actually prefer games like this. And I know most teams aren't going to, you know, we're not going to play like this against most teams in the Premier League, are we? We know that. But it has been a much more entertaining game to watch when it's not about Arsenal just keeping boring possession, isn't it? So, you know, but anyway. Arsenal just getting the Olays out now as we keep the ball against Manchester City. It's been a very long time since we've been able to do this. So we need to enjoy it while we can. But as I said before, this is probably the weakest Man City team I can remember seeing for a long, long time. So, you know, there was no excuses today not to beat them. But you've still got to go out and get it done. And we have gone out and got it done. And we've done it in the end very, very convincingly as well. And Man City will be going back up the M62. The M6, sorry. Feeling a bit sorry for themselves, won't they? And we still could get another goal here, actually, which would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. Marino over on that far side. Arsenal bringing all the tricks out now. Ag says, oh, hang on, where's my mouse gone? Ag says, off to handball. Bye bye. Yep, see that, Ag. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the handball. Dean says, Partey has been absolutely incredible tearing out that midfield. Yeah, he's had a good game again. It has been brilliant, yeah. We'll probably play him at right back on Wednesday, though. But we shall see. Anyway, my stream has decided it doesn't want to play ball anymore. Oh, here we go. So Calafiore and Raheem Sterling's coming on against his former club, and Ricardo Calafiore as well for the last couple of minutes here. And that just you know that you're taking the piss when you bring Raheem Sterling on with a couple of minutes to play, don't you? Anyway, Arsenal have got a corner which Ethan Nwaneri is going to take. And it is going to be Jurin Timbers going off. No, it's not. It's Lewis Skelly's going off. What a great performance from him today. And a great goal as well to top it off. Fantastic performance from that young man. A day he's never going to forget, is he? What a great goal it was that he scored. Stuart says, great result. Well, it will be if it stays like this. Mark C says, will the ref give 10 minutes of added time? Yeah, probably. But Lewis Skelly's goal there, they're just showing what a day it is for him. And Raheem Sterling's coming on. Calafiore's come on as well. I'm not sure who's gone off actually for Raheem Calafiore. Oh, sorry, that's Lewis Skelly. Who's come off for Sterling? It's Kai Havertz. Got his goal in the end. Missed the sitter in the first half, but got his goal. And Raheem Sterling is coming on for these last few minutes here. And it was Kai Havertz's goal, the fourth one that sealed it. Nick Nack says, the ref feeling sorry for City, only 3 minutes. Is that all there is? 3 minutes, is there? Well, I mean, to be fair, the game's flowed, really, hasn't it? There hasn't been a lot of stoppages in the game, has there? Retrolic Gamer says, amazing what we do when the pressure is off. It's only when we play well, when Liverpool drop points and we need to win. Hopefully we perform against Newcastle. Oh, I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, you're probably right. When the pressure's on, we kind of tighten up, don't we? Greg says, Sterling, I know, well, that shows the quality of our bench. Exactly. Oh, it was nearly 5-1 there, actually. I think that was Timbers' cross was saved away there by the goalkeeper. I mean, Man City have completely lost all interest in this game. Their fans have gone home. The players aren't bothered. And it's just a matter of seeing out these last 3 minutes of stoppage time and getting this job done. The stream keeps going, actually, which is quite annoying. But anyway, yeah, we've played a minute and a half of the 3, and Raheem Sterling is on the ball. Wow. Now it's with Gabriel. Plays up this near side. Gabriel Martinelli cuts in field, finds Raheem Sterling, finds Calafiore. Now Declan Rice. Arsenal just keeping possession, knocking it around. And Man City have just given up, basically. They've given up. They're not pressing. They're not doing anything. They just want this game to be over so they can get on their coach and go back home with their tails between their legs. Declan Rice pings that ball out to the far side to Ethan Nwaneri, cuts in field, tries a shot. Oh, and he scored. The second teenager of the day scores as well. Ethan Nwaneri, that's his 7th goal of the season. Quite incredible. He's only just come on. Wow, what an incredible goal that was. Man City have well and truly been humbled here today. 5 goals to 1, and Ethan Nwaneri is the latest goal scorer. 2 teenagers from the academy have come in this game, and both have scored. When was the last time 2 teenagers from our academy scored in the same game in the Premier League? Absolutely can't remember. That's a great goal, isn't it, into the far corner? I mean, let's be honest, Man City stopped bothering with this game 10 minutes ago. But even so, I'm looking at the goalkeeper there, just watches it go past him. It is great to see. Greg says we should have the youth team to solve our striker problems. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's what we need to do. 2 of our young lads today steps up to the mark. There was only going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time. We've obviously played a bit longer now. In fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It has finished there at the Emirates. A quite incredible score. Arsenal 5, Manchester City 1. You won't see many results like that. Yes, I don't think the scoreline was a true reflection of the full game. Man City had a lot of the ball either side of half-time, and when they got it back to 1-1 early in the second half, you felt as though it was going to be a difficult time for Arsenal, but Thomas Partey capitalised on a mistake at the back from City to restore our lead. And from that moment on, there was never really much doubt. The 2 youngsters, Ethan and Miles Lewis-Skelly, celebrating on the pitch there. A great day for those 2 young kids. Kai Havertz got himself on the score sheet as well. Martin Odegaard got it all off and underway. And yeah, Erling Haaland's equaliser doesn't really seem like it mattered anymore. At the time it did. And Gabriel's still not very happy, is he? Not quite sure why he's needed to get involved today in all the stupidness he's got involved in. He's chatting with his Brazilian teammate, Savinho. But it was a fantastic Arsenal performance in the end. I don't think 5-1 was a reflection on the game as a whole, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. I much more enjoy watching Arsenal when we play counter-attacking football like that. It's so much more exciting, and it's much more enjoyable to watch. Vicky P says North London forever. Russ says this is massive for momentum. I mean, it's a great result. It is. I mean, I said before the game, this is the worst Man City team that we've seen for a long, long time. The worst Man City team under Pep. It was a big opportunity to beat them. I wasn't expecting a 5-1, obviously. But yeah, I mean, let's hope it is some momentum. I think we need a bit more than momentum. We need a big day tomorrow as well. But we've got to win, and that's all that matters today. It's always nice, no matter how depleted Man City are, no matter how poor they were, it's always nice to beat them, isn't it? And to beat them in that manner is fantastic. And I say, they're going ahead of that big semi-final on Wednesday. We've got a big chance now to do it, haven't we? We have got a big chance to do it. Erling Haaland did get his goal, but it proved to be in vain in the end. And Arsenal have run out comfortable winners here at the Emirates today. Arsenal 5, Man City 1. Well, what an incredible, incredible game it's been. Terry says, funny really, all this money Arteta has spent, and it's always been youth team players that have got him the result. No, exactly, yeah. Players he buy obviously haven't always done the job, you're right. And Nick Nack says, heaviest defeat since Middlesbrough, Wop City, 8-1 in 2007. That was an incredible result. Bukayo Saka there is celebrating with the players as well as they come off the pitch. Good to see him there. Brilliant for the other Halen boys today as well. Lewis-Skelly was fantastic. Ethan got a great goal. And yeah, what more could you want from a Sunday evening game? Well, not much more really. Couldn't have gone any better, could it? Greg says, play Ethan and Lewis-Skelly on Wednesday from the start. Their energy will give us an advantage. No, I would definitely play them from the start. I don't think he will, personally, but I would, absolutely. I mean, I think Lewis-Skelly will play, almost guaranteed. I'm not sure Ethan will start that game, but it's not been a bad week for him, has it? His first ever Champions League goal, of course, on Wednesday, and then a great goal here today as well against the 4-time champions. Dean says 100% Greg, no doubt in my mind. Phil says what a win, was not expecting it to go that way at all. Well, no, I wasn't as well. And I say the game changed, didn't it, on that on that 2-1 goal, straight after Man City had equalised, for them to give the ball away like the way they did and Arsenal to score so quickly, that was when that game changed. The momentum changed then. Had it stayed 1-1 for an extra 5 minutes, I think we would have lost that game, if I'm honest. That's how close it was. At the end, it looks easy, doesn't it? At the end, it looks like it's a 5-1 win. Arsenal have dominated the game. But no, it was one mistake by City there when they just equalised. And that was the difference in that game. I honestly believe that had it stayed at 1-1 a bit longer, I'm not sure. Well, I don't think we'd have won that game. If anything, Man City would have probably won. But, you have to take advantage of those situations. And we did. And we've gone on and won comfortably. I say Man City had lost interest in that game a long way before the end. Once the third goal went in, City were never really looked like it. No, I say they'd gone then. But I think that second goal, straight after that equalised, that was the turning point in that game. That's when the momentum massively shifted over to our side. And, of course, you still got to go and take advantage of those situations. Absolutely you have. And we did. And that was the most impressive thing about that in the end. We took advantage of it. And, yeah, it's turned out to be a very, very comfortable victory. And the only home win today as well, actually, because the other two games were away wins, wasn't they? So, yeah, brilliant stuff. Man City are in a bit of a mess. We know that. But we have beaten them quite comfortably here today at the Emirates. Well, 5 different goal scorers as well, actually, which is good, isn't it? It's Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Kai Havertz, and substitute Ethan Nwaneri. And of course, it was Erling Haaland who scored for Manchester City. No real surprise there. So, yeah, we're 6 points behind Liverpool. They do have a game in hand, of course, as we know. We are now 3 points above Nottingham Forest, who are in third. Man City are still fourth, but they'll drop out of that top 4 if Chelsea beat West Ham tomorrow night. And then, of course, Wednesday night semi-final, St James's Park, incredible. Grat says, never had a doubt. I said 6-1. I think you did say 6-1, actually, which was quite an incredible score prediction, actually. But anyway, it was only 5-1, so you got it wrong, didn't you? But well done. I wasn't. I say that would have been even the most optimistic Terry wouldn't have predicted 5-1. But anyway, there you go. It is small. I know it doesn't look small margins. That game was about small margins, and once those small margins went in our favour in that second half, that was it. Game done. Greg says in both games that's 9 different goal scorers. Well, yeah, it is 9 different goal scorers. Yeah, incredible. It's been an incredible day for us, hasn't it? The women beat Man City 4-3 earlier on. The men have just beaten Man City 5-1. It's a brilliant day. And let's hope it's going to be the start of a brilliant week. Arsenal could be in 2 cup finals this week. Wednesday, St James's Park. Of course, I'll be there for that one. I'll be bringing you a vlog of that. So I don't know when I'll be able to get the vlog out, but I'll be bringing you a vlog of it. So definitely join me for that. Thursday night, of course, the women play Man City in the other semi-final of the Women's League Cup. Let's hope for a victory there. Friday, the women's show. That's going to be a good one this week. And, of course, next Sunday, it's the FA Cup, the Arsenal women against London City Lionesses, which will be good stuff. Terry says, at least we know there won't be any new merch dropping this week as we won. Perhaps we'll have to wait until Thursday to buy another £100. So, well, exactly, yeah. Mark says, I want to see the face of Carragher. I don't really care about Carragher, never, honestly. I don't know why anybody even takes them seriously. But anyway, I want to see Pep's face. That's what I want to see. And Haaland's face. They're the people's faces I want to see. I don't care about Carragher and Neville. Anyway, look, we've won the game. We've won 5-1. It's been great. But it's important to stay humble. It is important to stay humble. But we've beaten Man City 5-1. What a great day it's been. Fantastic. Anyway, right. So that is that then. I've done 2 games today. So I need to have a lie down. I need something to eat as well, a cup of tea. Thank you for joining me today. If you was here for both games, then I salute you. If you was here for either of the games, again, I salute you. Thank you for joining me. And of course, hopefully you'll join us again during the week. Tomorrow is the transfer deadline day. Are we going to have some exciting news to bring you? My guess is probably not. But we shall see. And, of course, I'll be at St James's Park on Wednesday. So that is going to be good. You don't want to miss the vlog of that there because that is going to be something quite special. So, yeah, join me for all of that. It's going to be a big week. And of course, Thursday we'll be here for the semi-final of the Women's League Cup as well. Neil is with us. He says, wonderful. Hope to chat soon. It's absolutely, my friend. We definitely will. We definitely will very, very soon. Greg says, thanks, Richard. Great day. Night roll on Wednesday, indeed. Good. Neil says, sorry, I missed this. No, worries, Matt. We'll see you soon. Terry says, good to see you. Indeed, it's always good to see Neil, isn't it? Always good to see Neil. So, yeah, it's been a busy day. It's been a great day. Arsenal beat Manchester City twice in one day. Wow, incredible. I can't remember last time that happened. Has it ever happened? Probably not. It's probably never happened before. Neil says, much love. Oh, what a day. Indeed, it was a day. Let's hope we'll have another great day Wednesday night at St James's Park. I will be there for that one. That is going to be a lot of, well, I say a lot of fun. If we play like that, it'll be a lot of fun. Sola says, what a beautiful day. Double victories. Our boys and girls did us proud. They did do us proud. Absolutely, they did. 2 good victories over Man City and a fantastic day of football. What more is it? What a weekend it's been. We said on Friday that it was going to be a good weekend, and it hasn't let us down, has it? It has not let us down. And it's going to be a big week as well. Big week of cup semi-finals. Neil says, bring us luck, Rich. Well, let's hope I do, my friend. Neil says, we can overcome. Well, yeah, we can. Look, you know, we've had a great weekend. It's a big week, though, isn't it? We've got an opportunity to be in 2 cup finals. Wow, let's do it, guys and girls. Let's get it done, eh? Come on. We will see you very soon. I'll be back on Thursday for the live show. I'll try and get the vlog out as well of the Wednesday game at some point, but probably won't be able to do it till next weekend. I know it's after the time, but never mind. Greg says, after Thursday, 3 times in a week losing to the same club as ever felt. Has that been, well, I don't know, actually. That'd be interesting, won't it? And we might get them in the Women's Champions League. The draw's on Friday as well. What a week. What an incredible week. Well, anyway, look, we've got loads of stuff, good stuff to come. We've had a great day. I need to lie down and some food. So if you want to come around and cook me some food, that would be great. I'll see you live on Thursday. If you're at St James's Park on Wednesday night, do say hello. It'd be nice to meet you. And, you know, it'd be good. If you want to get on the, if you want to get in the video as well, be more than welcome. So if you are there on Wednesday night, hopefully see you there. Hopefully it'll be another, wow, that would be an incredible victory, wouldn't it, if we turn that one around. But anyway, we shall see. Terry says, thanks again, Richard, Greg, Neil, Ag. Got all in the chat indeed. Stephen Foot says, Waka Waka had 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scored again. He did. He missed again today, but he did score again today as well. That's what matters, isn't it? That is definitely what matters. Greg says, night Terry in the chat, have a good week. We will have a good week. It's a big week. It is a big week. Don't forget, like, share, and particularly subscribe before you go. Arsenal beat Man City 5-1. Wow, what an incredible day. What an incredible result. And yeah, let's not get carried away. I think the league title will still beyond us, but we should draw a lot of confidence from this, and hopefully it can lead us to still having a successful end to the season, eh? Let's do it. I will see you at St James on Wednesday if you're there, or I'll see you Thursday night for the women's game. It's been a fantastic day, hasn't it? Brilliant, brilliant stuff. What more could you want, eh? What more could you want for Sunday? Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I'll see you soon. Come on, you gunners. Wow. What a fantastic day. Take it easy, guys.